And 100 years old, a Wisconsin World War II veteran took the trip of a lifetime.
And as Fox 6's Nicola Junowitz reports from Washington, D.C., what started as a check on his bucket list turned into a journey of healing.
It is a day made especially for them. To honor, to remember, to reflect. A mighty group of the bravest Wisconsinites board a plane in Milwaukee, bound for our nation's capital.
How does it feel to be here?
Pretty good. One of the things on my bucket list, huh?
All righty, here we go.
Freddie Stachowiak is fine to blend in with this crowd. In fact, he would prefer it. But at 100 years old, he's the sole member of this honor flight representing the greatest generation.
Do you remember that time well?
Oh, yeah, like it was yesterday. But I didn't tell anybody about it until later.
Why is that?
I think we wanted to forget what we did, you know.
The story of his service in World War II is one that Freddie would rather keep to himself. He doesn't think it's very interesting. But seated next to his grandson on the steps of the World War II memorial, he opened up about his 3 years of service as an Army medic in the European theater.
What happened was, I think it was a converted school, and they turned it into a hospital. And then we took the patients out of the ambulance, and we took them to the ward.
Riding into the teeth of the Normandy coastal defenses.
The Milwaukee native landed in Normandy shortly after D-Day in the fall of 1944. From there, he was sent to Arlon, Belgium, just in time for the largest conflict yet, the Battle of the Bulge.
One time we went into one of the rooms there, and the fellow couldn't feel his leg. He said, I don't have any feeling in there. So guess what? They have to cut it off.
When you talk about seeing so many young men who are so severely wounded, how do you process that?
You don't. You just try to forget it and think to yourself how lucky you were. You know.
Yes, Freddie calls himself lucky to have served in a war so violent, it was the deadliest conflict in history. And like so many GIs of his time, he would never call himself a hero. But his great-grandson and companion on this trip, Nick, thinks otherwise.
I think that he's always thought that what his job wasn't important, but as someone that's known him his whole life, I think that it is super important because everyone had their job. He just thinks that since he wasn't in the battles and wasn't getting shot at, it wasn't important. If he wasn't bringing the people in, they weren't getting treated and they were gonna die.
Honor Flight President Karen Relke says that incredible spirit of humility actually prevents veterans from going on these trips. They don't think that they deserve it.
Very often, veterans who tell us that don't see themselves as a critical piece of the big picture when others do. Any contribution when you leave home and serve your country is significant.
Even more significant when accounts of a war that changed everything are heard less often. Of the 16.4 million Americans who served, less than 1% are still with us today. So, while the fact that Freddie is 100 may make him special, that he's a World War II veteran with a sharp mind and a vivid memory makes him a treasure.
It's great to listen to you.
Evident by the crowd that gathered to listen to him tell a story that he didn't think was worth knowing.
We had some veterans of different conflicts who were just there seeing the memorial that wanted to stop and salute him, or wanted to shake his hand, or just wanted to talk to him.
I met a lot of new people today, friends today, from different times of the wars, you know, Vietnam and Korea. That was special too. They opened up to me. I don't know why.
So on the steps of the World War II memorial, a bucket list item turned into something more meaningful, a healing journey. Reporting in D.C., Nicola Junowitz, Fox 6 News.
And the next honor flight takes off September 6th. There is a wait list, but organizers, they do consider veterans on a case-by-case basis. So do not hesitate to reach out if you're interested. Details are on the Fox Local mobile app.